Makers! Welcome to our first episode of Mad Makers, a new project from madcovid for our Instagram and our YouTube channels. Once a month we're going to be bringing you some craft projects, I guess. Think kind of like Blue Peter meets Art Attack meets whatever mad ideas come into our minds. Hopefully it's something that you can get involved with at home. It's all going to be really accessible in terms of things that you hopefully have in your home already, or if not, are easy to get hold of and cheap. So let's just get into our first thing. Our first episode is going to be making Matchbox shrine. I made these a couple of weeks ago and I think they're really cute. And they're really easy to make as well. You can decide whatever you want to put in there. I realised that as a kid I used to enjoy collecting like special rocks and shells and stuff, and as a 28-year-old grown-up I'm still collecting special rocks and shells, which I think is quite sweet, so that's gone in one of my shrines. And the other one here is just a little owl ornament, which I think is really cute. And on the back is a cherub and a bum, which gives me giggles. So what we're going to need to make these are a little matchbox. These cost me 20p at my little corner shop at the bottom of my road. We're going to get rid of the matches actually, but please don't throw these away because they're far too useful. I'm going to think of something to do with those. We need a Pritt stick, a pencil, scissors. Little scissors are going to help you because we're working on like a little object, but it's not the end of the world. A ruler, then you need an object to put in there. So these little stars are going to be my objects, and I'm going to use a little bit of like gold thread that I found. I don't know where that's from, but it's mine now. It's going in a shrine, and a needle to thread it. And then I got a couple of bits of paper that I'm going to use for the inside and the outside. You can really use like anything that you have lying around. It can be newspaper or coloured paper or plain paper. Don't go out buying anything, it's not worth it. If you do want some like magazines to craft with, you can often get free samples if you sign up for a subscription, like a digital subscription. You know, put your email on the website, you can often get a free sample of a magazine. So I sometimes do that, and then I swiftly unsubscribe from the mailing list because I ain't got time for that. So the first thing is to cut the hole that's going to be the front of your shrine. And you need to be a little bit careful here, but we're going to take one end of the scissors and we're going to make a little hole in the middle. Make sure your fingers, you hold them like apart, and we're going to go through the middle. Gently, just wiggle it through. Try not to pierce the back, just go slowly. Maybe we should put some sort of age disclaimer. We take no responsibility for pokes of fingers. So I've cut like around to the edges just so that it's a little easier to then cut around the whole shape, because like these bits bend back, it's a bit easier to get your scissors in. So I'll put that to one side. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to line the middle of this, actually. So we're going to cut a bit of paper that is bigger than we need, because it's always annoying when it's slightly too small. You need to remember that we're going to go up the sides as well, so you're not just cutting the triangle, although you can do that and then you can stick the sides on separately if you find that easier. But I'm going to try and get it in one piece. So make sure that I've got enough to go up the sides, overhanging. And then I'm going to cut a square here. And then I'm going to do the same in this corner. It's going to be a rectangle down here, but... And the same over here. I'm going to make sure that I don't cut these too short. And then fold them back. Nice, that fits really well. So we're gonna glue this in. Usually when I'm doing this is like the time when I listen to a podcast or just put an album on, and like for me it's a time that I can kind of escape the narrative in my head, if that makes sense. Just focus on something else for a while. Find it quite relaxing. I like crafts. And I'm just gonna trim what overhangs now. Oh, it is perfectly the right size. Beautiful. And then for this one, for my outside, I think I'm going to use this picture. I'm going to save this bit. And so you can put this inside now. It kind of helps it to keep its shape. I'm going to decide, I think I like this woman. I'm going to try and position the woman so she's on my box. You need to remember with this as well, you also want some overhang so that you can fold over the ends. You're going to wrap it up like a present, like a gift. So. You don't need to do it perfectly to start with. We're just getting the bit of paper that we want to use. Now, because this paper is quite thin, I'm not going to bother properly folding it or creating creases. If you're using card, it's probably worth doing that. And what I should have mentioned as well is if you have some tissue paper, that's quite a good thing to use on the inside. You don't really need to cut it to size. You can just glue it and then the creases make quite a nice effect. So you can play around with different materials and what you use to decorate with as much as what you might put inside. I have like a little calm space in my house where I go when I feel overwhelmed or stressed or something, and this is where that's where my shrines live. They're just little things that bring me joy. Oh, I love this woman. And then I'm going to cut off along here. Right, so, oh, you need to remember, by the way, which side is the front, because we're going to cut through this hole. First though, I'm going to just cut the slits, I'm going to cut slits down to each corner, so that when we fold these tops down, it'll be nice and easy, you won't have any creases. They don't need to be you don't need to measure it, they don't need to be perfect. Right, so, you know what, let's just fold these down now, get them out of the way. I'm going to chop them a little bit shorter. Again, don't chop them too short, but make sure it's not going to hang over the other side when you fold it, because just creating more jobs, more bits to trim off. You will need to give your scissors a little bit of a wash afterwards, because if they're like mine, they'll be covered in Pritt stick. But that's fine, it washes off. Right. Make sure that your box on the inside is level. You're going to hold it at the other end as well. I got one finger underneath here. And you should be able to feel where the hole is, but make sure that you remember which side we're going to cut. Oh, I love that. Beautiful image. Right. If you use an image like this as well, I always think it's like, it's a bit of a, I don't want to say a cheat, but it means that you don't have to decorate it. It's already got a really nice decoration on it, which saves a job. It's not cheating. If it's cheating, then I'm definitely going to do it. So with this, I'm cutting a star out and I'm going to cut a little hole, but I'm not going to worry about getting too close to the edge or like right up against the edge, and I'll show you why in a second. Once you've got a decent hole, gently cut around to the underneath, like where the hole is, the edge of the cardboard under there. And you just create like a number of slits. And now we're going to fold these back, and rather than like, it's just so much easier than fussing about like trying to cut the perfect shape back and make it look all neat and blah blah blah. This just creates a really nice edge really quickly, really simply. And you can't see the edge of the cardboard underneath either. So I think it's a win. I was quite pleased with myself for that one. Nice. Lovely. I'm pleased with myself. I like the inside as well. It kind of looks wavy. Nice. So, the next thing to do is to string my little beads in the middle. And you can put anything that you want in your shrine. It's really up to you. I'm going to tie a few knots here just so that, so that they stay on. Okay, change of tact. The thread that I had, the gold thread, was too thick to go through my needle. So I found some, this is for beading, but it's also called fishing wire sometimes. You could just use regular thread as well. Just make sure you choose something that goes through whatever needle you're using. You'll see why the needle is necessary in a moment. There we go. Yay! So I'm going to put these on. And I've got another little bead as well that I'm going to put on the end so that I don't have to do like a massive knot, but just a little one. Ooh. You can probably hear Luna's footsteps. Comes in right at the end to make her cameo. Oh. Oh. Alright, this stays on. That's step one. Make sure then you bit of my stars on again. I'm sure Blue Peter had some more production than this. I'm sure if it was just them in their houses at home alone, they would have not been any better than this. Alright, so I'm not going to tie a knot. I'm just going to make sure it's kind of through enough. I'm going to be able to hold it until it's out the other side. So I'm going to go up through the top and it's going to come out like at the back over here. Roughly in the middle, if you can. Watch your finger on the other side. And then just pull it through. Not too hard, don't make it go flying the other side. And then that loose end comes out. And I'm going to tie a little knot on this side. Lovely. So I'm just going to like trim the tails off. Quite short, but not, you don't want to cut it so short that the knot becomes loose. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a bit of this like scrap of the same image. Cut a little rectangle. And I'm gonna glue that tail at the top. I'm just gonna glue it down. Well, hold it in place underneath our little tab. And voila! I hope you guys like it. I'm really pleased with it. We would love to see what you make. If you do have a go, please take pictures, show us, tag us in it, tag Sorry, that's just my cat Luna making an exit. Tag us in it, tag hashtag madmakers and madcovid so that we can see what you guys make, and we would love to start a little gallery up on our website as well of your makes. I hope you've enjoyed your first episode, and I hope that you've seen it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to take a little pause. And I hope that you guys can come up with something that you're as proud of, because I'm really pleased. See you guys next time. Bye.